which is motion, and today we are dealing with the first presentation. Okay, now in all the pictures that I have shown, let's look at this particular ball. Okay, this ball again is coming from that side of the net to this side. That means it's moving. If you look at this Ferris wheel, it is also like if you sit at one particular place, suppose over here at the top of the wheel, you are bound to come down, and suppose if you're here, you're bound to go up. That means that it is in motion whenever you are allowing it to move. Look at this cheetah in action. It is maybe running from its own animals, or maybe it is running after its prey, but whatever is here, it is in motion. Okay, now let's look at this particular racing car. Again, it is in motion. The train, it is moving. Again, the cyclist again is moving. If you look at this, the birds flying, or whether it's the shooting star or take it as a meteors, over here the kingfisher is flying and moving towards the bird. When you talk about the solar system, which is the very natural system, since we are studying physics, we are more concerned with this. So if you look at it, all the planets are again moving around the sun. So they are all in motion. Okay. Now, I hope you know this. This is a windmill that we can make it with our own hands with a paper. Okay. Now, if you look at it and if you spin it in the air, you will see that it is also moving. Okay. Now, I think there is a bird that has been hidden behind this camera here. My screen that is coming. Okay, but this was the image of a bird which is flying on the lake. Now, if you look at it, we are talking about the motion in all of them. Now, if you're talking about the motion in all of them or anything that is moving, so you can get the idea that we are just going to discuss about everything that moves or anything that moves and anything that is at rest. So that is why the concept is behind that, which is motion. Now, what is motion? If you are going to read about the definition, it says motion is a change in position of an object with respect to time. Now, what is motion? Motion is a change in position of an object with respect to time. A body is said to be in motion when it changes its position with time with respect to a stationary object. It is a natural phenomena in living organisms, or it can be said to be as a continuous change in the position of a body with respect to time and with respect to another fixed body. Now, if you look at this particular figure, this is the motion of a person. He or she starts moving from this particular place, let's say a time interval that is at 1 second, moves up to this, that is in another 1 second, another 1 second, another one. Now, if you look at it, there is a change that is happening in this particular object which is moving, and it is changing its position, and the time is also increasing with it, or with a change, with a change in the motion, there is a change in the time also. If I am looking at it, suppose if you and I are looking at this particular figure, okay, you and I will judge that this particular person is moving, whereas with respect to us, that is, we are seated, but that object is moving. So with respect to us, that person is moving. So similarly, if a person comes in front of you who's riding a bicycle, you are seated, but that person is moving. So with respect to you, that person is moving. So that person is in motion with respect to you. Now look at the car. If the car moves in front of you, okay, all right, you are seated at let's say at your own particular place, wherever you're seated, okay, maybe you're in your balcony, maybe in your veranda, wherever it is, okay. Now when it is moving in front of you, you are at rest. That means you are not moving, but with respect to you, that body is moving, that this car is moving or changing its place from one place to the other with respect to time, okay. Similarly, the photo that is behind here is a train that is moving or is in motion. Again, as I said, the motion of the train, if you're standing on the platform, with respect to you, that train is in motion. You are not moving, the train is moving. Clear with this, everyone? Anyone having any issues of what is motion? Now let's go on to the next slide. Now again, if we have discussed what is motion, we can discuss what is rest also. All right, you and I, we are seated, we are not moving right now. So we are not at motion at all. We are not changing. Our body is not changing with respect to time. We are where we are whenever. Like suppose when you're attending a live class, what happens? You and I are seated at this particular juncture, or whenever we are having a live class, we are always seated at one particular place, and the class happens at that particular juncture only. But it doesn't mean that you are in motion. You are not in motion. You are seated at your own places whenever the classes are being held. Okay, so let's look at what is the definition of rest. It says a body is said to be at rest if its position doesn't change with time with respect to an observer. Okay, I will explain that. Let's look at the example right now first. Things like the book lying on a table, a sofa set placed in your house, they don't change their position unless and until it is moved by some other body. Now look at the diagrams here that I have provided. There are some tools which are lying on the floor. In your houses also, if there is some repair work or if you see it lying around, it's not going to move on its own. It's going to remain right there on the ground unless and until you move it. Is that clear with everyone? Okay. Now, similarly, in the park when you go, you see this bench. Do you see this bench moving? No, it doesn't move. That means that it is at rest. Unless and until it is moved by somebody, it will not move. Similarly, the books which are lying on the table, okay? It is going to be lying on the table like this unless and until somebody moves it. So all these three things, that is stool, the bench and the books, are all examples of the state of rest for any body, or the bodies that we are talking about. It that's the tool is the body in this figure, the bench is the body in this figure, and the books are the body in this figure if you are talking about the three different examples. Okay, now let's go on to the next slide. Now, I have just portrayed three figures over here, or three images, giving you a very clear definition of what is the difference between any body which is at rest or any body which is moving. Now, if you look at this figure, okay, the trees and the plants, they do not change their position with respect to time. But if a person, that is why it's said to be at a position of rest. Whereas a person who is taking a dog out on a stroll, that person is changing its position with respect to time. So that is why you call this particular object to be in motion, because it is changing its position with respect to time. Clear? Wherever you have a change in position, when you have a change in position, it determines motion. When you don't have a change in position, it tells you that it is at rest. Now look at this example. At rest, what are the examples? A house that is sitting by, a tree that is there, remains at its place, electric poles that are remaining at its own place. This doesn't move unless until they are moved by some person or an object. Now, what is supposed to be in motion? A bee. This keeps on flying, so this is in motion. A bird is flying. Again, this is in motion because it's changing its position with respect to time. A person who's playing football, again, a footballer is said to be in motion because that footballer is going to change his or her position with respect to time. All right. Now again, that I have assimilated over here an image which gives out the difference between the rest and motion. Now it says a body is said to be at rest if it doesn't change its position with respect to time and with respect to any surrounding. Okay. Now again, the bench book is lying on any table over here. You are looking at this particular, so with respect to you, that body is at rest because it's not changing its position. Now, this bench, as I explained in the last slide, this bench is going to remain over here unless and until somebody moves it. So it is at a position of rest. Okay? Now next over here, What is a body? And a body is said to be in motion. A body is said to be in motion if it is continuously changing its position with respect to the surrounding or with respect to time. Again, as I said, a flying bird that you have it, or you are having a footballer who is playing a game, all right, or is kicking the football from one place to the other. Now, with respect to us, this person is in motion because it is changing its position with respect to time. Clear? Now, let's go on to the next slide, please. Okay. This is a very common thing if you have studied this chapter or if you have encountered this particular, I do not know whether you're knowing it or not, but the term rest and motion are said to be relative to each other. What does that mean? Relative to each other? That means that we can say relative to each other in the sense that a particular body can be said to be at rest as well as at motion. Let me repeat. A particular body or an object can be said to be at rest or at motion with respect to some particular terms or situations or surroundings or a particular person. Clear? Now let's go and find out what it means, okay? Now I'm going to read it. When we are going to come to the figure, we will do the extensive explanation. Now, what does this mean that rest and motion are relative terms? Okay, it means that a person, an object which is at rest with respect to one thing can be in motion with respect to another thing. I will repeat, an object which is at rest with respect to one thing can be in motion with respect to another thing. Let's consider an example. You are traveling in a bus, okay? Remember this and try to move along with me. Now you are traveling in a bus, okay? On looking outside, you will observe that you are in motion with respect to the buildings, trees, poles, or people outside the bus. That means that if you're looking at the things which are outside the bus, you are supposed to be in motion, whereas those objects are supposed to be at rest. No problem, okay? Now, why do you think this is happening? It is happening, or why do you say it is happening like this is because your position is changing continuously with respect to all these things. That means that from one building to the other building, from one tree to the other tree, from one pole to the other pole, or for people that are outside the bus, you are moving. So you are in a state of motion. But if you look at inside the bus and compare your position with respect to the other passengers, what will you find? That the person seated next to you, or the seat next to you, or the roof of the bus, or the railing of the bus, with respect to all of them, you are at rest. What do you mean by this? I'm saying, when you look at the people outside the bus, you are in motion. But with respect to things around you in the bus, you are at rest. This is what it means that rest and motion are relative to each other. With respect to things outside the bus that are traveling, you are said to be in motion. But if with respect to people or things around you in the bus, you are at a position of rest. So that is why it is said that rest and motion are relative to each other. That means a body can be at a position of rest as well as a position of motion, but it depends upon the surrounding around that particular object. Is that clear? All right, let's go to the figure next and try to understand it in a much better manner. Okay, let's look at this. Now, this is what I was saying. You are seated inside this bus, okay? Now, with respect to the people who are standing out over here on this pavement here, or the person over here in this car, or this pole over here, or the post here, you are said to be moving. But what happens with respect to the people who are sitting next to you? You are not moving. You are seated like them, just like them. So with respect to the people outside the bus, you are in motion. With respect to people inside the bus, you are at a position of rest. So you are the one that we are talking about it, which is at rest with the people around you, but you are in motion with the things which are outside the bus. Clear with that? Now let's look at the next diagram over here. A person on the platform is at rest with reference to another person on the platform. That means that if you look at this is the platform, all right, and this is the train. If you have another person standing next to you, you are said to be at rest over here, okay? But if you board the train, what happens to you then? When you're on the train, if you're looking at the passenger, for that particular person that is standing on the platform, you are supposed to be in motion. Whereas when you were on the platform, according to that person, you were at a position of rest. Are we clear with this, everyone? Even similarly, the same situation, another figure I've given over here for you to understand. I hope this concept is clear now, everyone. Okay, now let's understand it a little in a little broader manner. Okay, now we are living things which are on earth, and we are at rest with respect to all other surroundings like mountains, rivers, etc. But when we consider our position with respect to the sun, we are also continuously moving as the earth is rotating on its own axis as well as revolving around the sun in its own orbit. Okay, now whether a given object is at rest or is in motion depends on the observation or the person that is observing it, and with the person that is around in the surroundings. Now I would just, I think in making the PPT I've made a spelling error, but I will correct it when I'm sending it out to you. Now let's go to the figure to understand it a little better as to what I've given. Now look at this, we are on earth. Okay, now I think everybody knows that the earth is rotating on its own axis as well as revolving around the sun. I hope everybody has heard about it. So when you say that you are at a position of rest on the earth, are you actually at a position of rest? I don't think so. You are not at a position of rest because the earth is now moving around the sun, or it is moving around the sun, or revolving around the sun. So you are supposed to be at a position of rest compared to the other person on the earth. But if you look at the complete example of it, if the earth is moving around the sun, that means you are also in motion with respect to the orbit in which the earth is moving. So you are at a position of rest with respect to things around you on earth, whereas if the earth is moving, you are also moving. So you are at rest as well as at motion, but the thing it is different is the surrounding. It's compared to the people or the things around you on the earth, you are at rest. But with respect to things which are moving or revolving around the sun, you are also moving. I hope this thing is clear to you that rest and motion are relative to each other. Is that clear? Okay? Chal, let's move ahead. The next topic that we are going to discuss today is what are the various types of motion. Since we have understood what is motion, let's try to understand what are the various types. Okay? Now, this is just an example of what are the motions that we are going to cover or study. Obviously, these are only 6 that I have stated. There are much more, but let's to give it a preview of what is going to come. I've just added this image. Okay, vibration again. What is a vibratory motion? Anything like this rubber band, if it's tied with between any two edges, and if you are going to pluck it, it moves up and down like this. It vibrates, so it's called a vibratory motion. Now, what is a linear motion? The other word that you can talk or tell about it is said to be rectilinear motion. Linear means it's a straight line motion, simple, nothing more than that. But we'll come to it about it in detail in the coming slides. Curvilinear. If you look at it, this particular child is throwing this ball in a curve like this. So if it's curvilinear, that is curvy plus linear, it is a motion in a curved line. Is that clear? Now oscillation, again to and fro, going like this, like this. This motion is said to be oscillatory motion. Circular, anything which goes around like this. is said to be a circular. Covering a circle is said to be a circular motion. Now over here, what happens, what is a rotatory motion and what is a circular? If I say that this also goes around, 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 this is also, so you would be saying, what is the difference between a circular and a rotatory motion? Now, let's go ahead into the further explanation to understand what they are differently and why do we differentiate it, as to why one of them is called a circular one and the other one is called a rotatory motion. Okay? Now, the types of motions that we are going to study in this chapter are going to be translatory motion, which is subdivided into rectilinear motion and curvilinear motion. Next is going to be rotatory motion, circular motion, oscillatory motion, vibratory motion, periodic motion, non-periodic motion, and random motion. Okay? Let's go on to the next one then. Now, first one, translatory motion. Let's read the write-up and then come to the diagram to understand it a little better. Now, what happens in translatory motion is, in this, all the particles of the body, of the moving body, they cover similar and equal displacements. Now, what is a displacement? Again, displacement is, we are going to change our place, all right, with respect to time. We are going to cover some distance with respect to time, but we are going to move in a particular direction. Always remember, when you are discussing about displacement, it is obviously covering some distance in some time, in a particular direction. Now, what does this statement mean? It means that all the parts of the body are going to cover the same distance in the same time, in the same direction. Always remember, okay? Now, again, as I just said, let's look at the examples here. Translatory motion, a motion in which all points of a moving body move uniformly against a straight line is said to be translatory motion. Now, very simple example. An apple falling down from a tree. What kind of a path does it cover? Can anyone tell me? If you drop something, okay, from here like this, where will it go? Straight down. So going straight down is said to be a translatory motion because the whole object or the whole ball is moving at one particular time, okay? And all the whole object is covering the same distance in the same amount of time. It's not that one part of the ball is moving somewhere else, the other is moving somewhere else. The whole ball is moving from this top over here and going down like this. Similarly, when you talk about this car, okay, the whole car cover moves from here to here. You do not find that a part of it remains here, a part of it remains here, a part of it remains here. No, the whole thing moves from one place to the other. And when this kind of motion happens, you say that it is a translatory motion, okay? Now, as I said, translatory motion can be in which kind of a line it should be moving. The translatory motion can be of two types. First, it's a straight line motion, which is called a rectilinear motion or just a linear motion, and curvilinear motion, that is moving in a curve. Now, let's go on to the next slide. Okay, again, as I said, translatory motion is divided into rectilinear motion and curvilinear motion. Next. Okay, let's understand what is a rectilinear motion. Now, when a body moves along a straight line, it is said to be a rectilinear motion. Again, in a straight line, the whole object covering the whole distance, but in a straight line. Simple. All the parts of the body moving from one place to the other place in that particular specified amount of time, but in a straight line. This kind of a motion is said to be rectilinear. Okay. Now look at the example that I have given over here. And again, as I was explaining, an apple which falls down from a tree. It starts from the tree, goes straight down like this in a straight line motion. Again, if you're pushing a box, you push a box in a straight line. Now, I know you guys are missing your sports day, but whenever I think Gupta sir or Suman ma'am would make you do this particular marching exercise, I think everybody would be concerned about and would tell you that keep walking in a straight line whenever you are marching. Do not stray like this. Maintain a straight line walking. Now, straight line which you cover, that the students cover when they're doing a march past, is said to be a rectilinear motion. Now again, in the next figure, any object, that is a car, a bus, or any other car, if they are covering a straight line motion, or if they are moving in one particular line, and that is a straight line, this all are said to be examples of rectilinear motion, that is bodies moving in a straight line. Clear? Now, what is a curvilinear motion? Now, curvilinear motion, again, as I said, is a motion in which the body moves along a curved line. Let's look at this. We talked about a Ferris wheel or a roller. This is a roller coaster. What is happening? In a roller coaster, you are moving around various kinds of curves like this, moving from here, going from here, then covering from here, coming. Now you're moving along this roller coaster along its track in a curved line. So this can be a suitable example for a curvilinear motion. Again, when the jets are flying during the parades, okay, whether they want to spray the all the Tiranga colors that is there, that is the saffron, green and white, okay, they do that while covering a curved path. They never do it while coming in a straight line, because if you look at this particular, okay, as I was saying, if to get the desired effect from these particular jets, we are going to spray different colors from their machines. You need to move in a curvilinear motion or a curved manner to get the desired effect. This can be considered to be an example of a curvilinear motion. Now let's look at this particular example. A car which is moving on a curved road. Now, moving on a curved road, again, it's not covering a straight line motion, it's covering a curved, so it is moving or showing curvilinear motion because the vehicle is moving in a curve. Clear? Let's go on to the next slide. Now, rotatory motion, okay? If you look at these diagrams, okay, I think everyone can say that this is supposed to be, what do you call that in Hindi? Lattu, okay. Or in English, you call this as a spinning top. Okay, now what happens? What is the definition of a rotatory motion? When a body moves along a fixed axis without changing its position. Again, when a body moves along a fixed axis without changing its position, what does it mean? Let's go on to the second point. In the spinning top, it rotates along a fixed axis where the top and bottom parts of the spinning top do not change their position. Now, when you're moving these spinning tops, okay, these are all the different types and shapes of a spinning top. When you move it, what happens? They will rotate along a fixed axis, but the top will remain where it is and the bottom of the top, spinning top, will remain where it is. They do not interchange their positions, or they do not change. That means the top doesn't go anywhere else or the bottom doesn't go anywhere else. Both of them remain at one particular opposite, but the motion happens in one particular axis or around one particular axis. Clear? Now, when this happens, you say that this spinning top is exhibiting a rotatory motion. Clear? Okay. Now, let's go on to the next one, please. Now, over here, when you look at the rotatory motion, the example again that I have put here is you're having the fan moving and you're having the potter's wheel. Let's understand the fan. What is happening to the blades of the fans? The blades of the fans are moving around in their own places without changing their place. They are moving around going like this, but this top over here with which it is attached to the ceiling doesn't change. It remains where it is, but it just goes around like this, okay? If this is the axis over here, it just goes around like this, moving like this. The same thing happens with the potter's wheel also. What happens? This wheel, You just move it around, it goes around, round, 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 around this particular axis. If you see all these actions over here, these all exhibit rotatory motion. Now, the examples that have been shown to you are good enough for you to understand it. But if you have any issues, please do message me so that I can clear them properly for you. Thank you, children.